In this video, Alison explains how the first vowel in somebody's name can give an insight into their personality and how you can interact with them.
So when you go out, whether it's a business environment, whether it's a networking environment, whether it's at a party or just meeting somebody in a local shop, the first thing that they will generally find out about, or you would find out about them, is their first name. Now the first name resonates or is an insight into our personalities. It's not an in-depth, but it is an insight into our personalities. So let's have a look. Vowels in a name play a part of the person's personality. So here's the vowels. We have A, E, I, O, U, and we also have a vowel, Y. Now I'm saying that Y is a vowel, so for somebody that has a name of Kyle or Kylie, then a Y is considered a vowel because it's next to a consonant and it's a vowel, but I'll give you an example of those. So in this case, A equals 1, so we've got 1 up here, which is the leader. E equals 5, and 5 is the freedom, fun, adventure. We've got I is 9, 9 is the selfless humanitarian. O is a 6, which is the mother-father number. It's a nurturer. It's, there's a responsibility with a 6. We have U is 3, and 3 is the happy communicator, and a Y is a 7. And these are the vibrations of these particular numbers. As an example, I went to a networking function a couple of weeks ago, and I'm always trying to analyse people in the nicest way possible, as I think, or I can have some fun with it. So the first thing what happened when I walked into this networking function is Julie. So I met Julie. So when I met Julie, she was just who Julie should be. Her first vowel in her name was a U. Now Julie was happy. So Julie was bubbly, she was happy, she had a beautiful personality, and she was the communicator. So she was the networking person for the night. She was out there talking to people, getting them all to talk to each other, bubbly and chatty. And this is the 3, this is the communicator. This is the first insight into Julie's personality. I then was introduced to the speaker of the night, and her name was, it was actually Tina. So Tina came into this networking function. Now Tina is an I. Now I can't remember exactly, I can't remember exactly what Tina was talking about, but she had a global company. So 9s are about the humanitarian. So it's a selfless humanitarian. Tina was talking about caring for others. She had a big business, which was a global business, which would be all about 9s. She spent the night, making sure that everybody else was comfortable, that she helped everybody, that she answered all their questions. And that is what the selfless humanitarian would actually do. It gives me an insight to her personality. So she would be the carer. She would be looking after everybody, not just 1 or 2 particular persons. I was sitting across from 2 ladies on this particular night that had a second vowel E. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I think one was Denise, and anyway, they had a second vowel E. Now these people had different jobs. They were adventurous, they were travellers, they were working between Australia and overseas, and they were definitely living up to their 5, their freedom, fun, adventure name as part of who they were. I was also then sitting next to a Holly, and Holly, Holly, she was telling me about family all night. So Holly was the carer. She was telling me how she'd just given birth to a son and about her parents, and she was very happy talking about all her family, and she was the caring, nurturing number. Now the other person on the table, Margaret, who I was sitting next to, she was telling me all about how she was butting heads. Now 1s, Margaret, the first vowel in a Margaret is an A. And she was telling me about this person, Amanda, that she was working with, and how that they were butting heads, and that she was having these difficulties in her workplace. And 1s, if you challenge a 1, 1 will challenge back. And that would be what an A personality would, so an Alison or an Amanda, they would challenge you. And this was what was happening on the whole night. So this is as one example, how you could interact with other people.
For further information, please visit the website alisonrose.com.au.